Well, hi there. Now, if you think all the way back to the beginning of the school year, you might remember that in September and October, we started every lesson singing the Respect song. And then in November and December, we started every lesson singing Caring. And in January and February, we started every lesson singing Responsibility. And March and April, which just passed, we started every lesson singing our Positivity song. So here it is in May, and we're going to start every lesson. That's right, you guessed it. We're going to start by singing Grit. We got grit. We got grit. When things get hard, we never quit. We got grit. We give all. We give all. We get right back up when we fall. We got grit. We persist. We persist. We do everything on our list. We got grit. We stay strong. We stay strong. When you stay strong, you can't go wrong. We got grit. We got grit. We got grit. When things get hard, we never quit. We got grit. Sing it again. We got grit. Yeah, one more time. We got grit. Yeah. That was great. Now, at home, I don't have a little egg like we had at school, a little shaky egg, and you probably don't either. So I'm going to show you how to make your very own little shaky egg, or something that you can use to make some music and play along with the Grit song out of some things you probably have around the house. Now, before you do any of these things that I'm telling you about, make sure that a big person around your house says that it's okay. So this was very easy to make. All I did was take a little bit of rice and I poured it into one of these little containers that we use around the kitchen to store things in. Put a little bit of rice in here. Here, I'll just show you. I'll put a little more in, so just be very careful. You don't want to put too much in there, right? And then I put this on top of that and we shake it up very good. Okay. Slate that. Now, if you don't have one of these, well, I'm sure you have a cup, right? So you could take the rice, instead of putting it in here, you can put it right in the cup. I'm putting it in there instead of taking more rice from the box. And I know you have a piece of paper around the house. I'm going to take this piece of paper that had some music on it. Here, I'm even going to put it like this so we know it's a musical object. And I know you have a rubber band around your house, so you can take the rubber band after you put the paper on top of the cup, and now you've got the same kind of a shaker. And you can use this. Alright, that was easy to make. Now, there are probably all kinds of things around your house that you can use, not just rice in containers, but we have this that we use to grate cheese with, and we have spoons. Once again, make sure you ask a big person before you go doing this, but we can make a sound very much like the sound we like for grit. And that's our ch-ch-ch. sound. We got grit. We got grit. When things get hard, we never quit. We got grit. Okay. Here's another thing you can do using 2 spoons and no cheese grater. So I take these 2 spoons and I put them back to back, and look, I've put this one in between my pointer finger and my middle finger, and I've put this one between my thumb and my pointer finger, and they're almost touching. And I'm going to take them over here down by my knee, and if I hit them on my knee, they make this nice sound, and if I hit them up against my hand, they make the same nice sound. We got grit. We got grit. And if you want to, you can even get very fancy. Take the fingers of your hand and run the spoons against the fingers. We got grit. That's really fancy, right? You might not want to do that one for too long, just every once in a while. Like at the end of the verse. When things get hard, we never quit. We got grit. We persist. See, I just do it once in a while. That kind of makes it special. And now here's a video of somebody else playing the spoons, and playing them very, very well indeed. Okay, now that you have something to play on, let's sing the grit song again. We got grit. We got grit. When things get hard, we never quit. We got grit. We give all. We give all. We get right back up when we fall. We got grit. persist. We persist. We do everything on our list. We got grit. We stay strong. We stay strong. When you stay strong, you can't go wrong. We got grit. We got grit. We got grit. When things get hard, we never quit. We got grit. Sing it again. We got grit. Yeah, one more time. We got grit. Yeah. Let's sing He Called Me a Name. He called me a name. It made me feel so bad. He called me a name. It made me feel so sad. He called me a dummy. It made me want to scream. How could he be so mean? But what if he called me a fish? I know I'm not one. So if he called me a fish, it might even be fun. What if he called me a tree? I know that's not true. I'm not a fish and I'm not a tree, and I am not a dummy too. She called me a name. It made me feel so bad. She called me a name. It even made me mad. She called me a baby. I want to hurt her now. Could I not feel bad somehow? Well, what if she called me a cloud? I'm not up in the sky. What if she called me a bird? I can't even fly. I think that she is confused. What she said isn't true. I'm not a cloud and I'm not a bird, and I am not a baby too. When they call you a name, and you know they might, because there's lots of folks who just can't get it right. When they call you a name, they have got it wrong. You can stand up and be strong, 'cause they don't know how cool you are and what's inside your head. They don't know what's in your heart. It's just some junk they said. They think they hit on the truth, but they missed it really far. You're not the name that they call you. You're the person that you know you are. Here are a couple of people who do some very fancy things with shakers. Here's a song that was introduced a few weeks ago, and we worked on it line by line last week. If you missed those times, that's okay. Just sing along. The words are there on the screen. Some folks keep making themselves feel bad. Some get all angry and some get mad. I never worry and I never fret, 'cause I get what I get and I don't get upset. Some put themselves in a troubled state, then they feel every which way but great. I'm never bothered and I never sweat, 'cause I get what I get and I don't get upset. Some folks get angry at everything. I'd rather dance and I'd rather sing. I'm feeling great all the time, you bet, 'cause I get what I get and I don't get upset. When I go eat in a restaurant, if they do not have the food I want, it's not a trouble, it's sure not a threat, 'cause I get what I get and I don't get upset. Life is so good since I heard the news. Happy is something that I can choose. Don't matter if I am dry or wet, 'cause I get what I get and I don't get upset. Let's sing the positivity song. It's always good to stay positive, especially when things are a little bit different from what we're used to. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring on the rain, so stop that sighing. Be happy again, keep on smiling, 'cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. And here's Mason to help us out with two more songs. 1, 2, 3, and...
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. As I was walking that endless highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. As I was walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said private property, but on the other side it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out a warning, I'd hammer out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out a warning, I'd ring out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out a warning, I'd sing out the love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Well, I got a hammer, and I got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's the song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land.
Now, usually at the end of music time, we all line up with a beat and a rhyme. Today, there is no line to arrange. You can't line up alone, no, that'd be strange. But I thought that for your lesson today, you could have a beat and a rhyme anyway. I'm not going to tell you where to stand. You can bop, you can dance, you can clap your hand, and you can listen to Mr. S. while he reminds you not to make a mess. There's people who are taking good care of you. They gotta share your space, they live there too. So when you're finished with your work or play, show responsibility. Please put your things away. We're reaching the end of this video, but you can play it anytime you want to, you know. Go answer the questions in the Google Doc. And let me remind you, you really rock!